One of the most exciting announcements at this year's opening night live was Valor Mortis, a first-person Souls-like game from one more level. And I'm here to talk to the game's director, Radosław, all about the game. Now, what is a first-person Souls-like?
Well, so it's basically our new approach to this genre because, you know, we are creators of Ghost Runner. So this DNA is also visible here. You have, on the one hand, you have gameplay mechanics that are kind of familiar for the Souls-like genre, like stamina-based combat system, like checkpoint system, and of course interconnected levels. There are some Metroidvania elements in our games. You're unlocking new abilities, you will be revisiting some locations and unlocking some new paths, new secrets. And on top of that, you have this DNA of Ghost Runner, the pure action, excitement, and we think that we are pushing this genre forward a little bit, because what kills genre is the stagnation, and we would like to push it forward a little bit.
Yes, there are far too many third-person Souls-likes, and seeing the Souls-like formula injected into a first-person game is very refreshing, but I do wonder how stuff like the dodging mechanics work. For instance, in Dark Souls, you have rolls with iframes and stuff. How does dodging work in first person? I presume there's no rolls, because that would get very confusing.
That's true, that's true. There are no rolls, but we have iframes for the fans of Dark Souls and other games, other Souls-likes. I mean, it's the mechanic that is very crucial. I mean, when you are dodging, we are indicating it to the players with this kind of on-screen effect and a sound cue, so you know when these iframes are clicking exactly. So you can feel it basically without watching it, because you know, this is also main difference. You are the hero, you are not observing your character fighting. You are basically feeling that the tension, the immersion is much higher in the first person. You feel every blow from the enemy. When you dodge the bullet by the inches, it's also something very special for the players, and we think it's something refreshing, breath of fresh air for the Souls-likes.
Yeah, it definitely does. And there is a fresh mechanic really where you are balancing, it looks like, pistol play with sword play. How does this mechanic work? The kind of parrying system, is it, or a finisher move?
Oh, it's quite complex. I mean, we have this dual wielding mechanic. So on one hand, you always are carrying your saber, and on your left hand, you are carrying your pistol or your basically hand, but with a superpower. I mean, supernatural power that we call transmutations. You can cast a flame basically from your hand, and combination of it during the combat is crucial. With your handgun, you can aim for the weak points on the enemies to deal massive damage, and some enemies got them on different spots. And also combining with parry system with your saber, this is the key to success in our combat.
Are there different kinds of classes in this game, or do you just play as this one class with the saber and the pistol and the flames?
Basically, you play as a soldier. This is the soldier class, but we are not a regular soldier. I mean, there is, in our world of the game, there is this corruption that is consuming the world. We call it neptoglobin. It's this living essence that is corrupting everything it touches, and also it has some influence on us. We are not turned into the mutant or abomination, but we are gathering some supernatural powers, and thanks to that, we are very capable soldier.
Now, I was wondering about this neptoglobin stuff. Like, is this what you use to level up? Because in traditional Souls-like games, you have maybe souls or runes, and then you would rest at a fire or a site of grace. How does leveling up work in this game?
Well, it's kind of similar. I mean, in our game, it's more like the catalyst of this neptoglobin. Like, it looks like a shard, something like that, that you are gathering, and you can spend them on the lanterns. Lanterns are our checkpoints, so it's kind of regular, typical for the genre leveling system, but of course there is a little bit more. We have a skill tree where you have so you can choose which kind of playstyle you prefer to enhance, and if you are a master of the saber, you can, you know, add some points to stamina, probably, to be able to dodge very fast. So yeah, so it depends. It's not like we are forcing the player to play a certain play style, but yeah, so player can choose whether they like.
Cool. Now, there is a lot of body horror going on in the trailer, a lot of gore. I'm guessing this game isn't for the faint of heart. There is going to be, it's going to be a mature rated game. Even the trailer itself started off with someone getting their head blown off. Like, this is not shying away from violence or gore at all, is it?
No, it's quite gory, to be honest. Yeah, there is a lot of blood. I mean, the theme of war and the horrors of war that is quite strong in our game, it's not a beautiful theme, right? There is this cruelty on that, there is this nightmare, there is this burden of being a witness of war events, and it doesn't look pretty. I mean, it looks pretty on the way, but on the other way, you know.
So are these mutations kind of like a metaphor about war, or?
It is a little bit metaphoric. I mean, you see this physical horror, like these abominations, but on the other hand, you know, the theme of war and being this small cog in the war machinery, this is also the other thing, this psychological aspect of war, that there are no true winners in war. That's our message. I mean, everyone loses something. Either it's their lives or maybe their humanity.
Right. Now, you did mention a little bit about a Metroidvania-style level design earlier on. In a lot of Souls-likes, they're not true Metroidvanias, you're more wandering around unlocking shortcuts. I presume that's true in this game as well, but as you said, Metroidvania, is there more to explore, more to find, secret areas, things like this?
Exactly. There is more than that. There is more than shortcuts. It's not visible in the demo level, because demo level is more like a tutorial, but on the later stages of the game, for example, when you will be exploring, let's call it location number 5, you will get the ability that will allow you to open some paths, or location number 2, for example. So you can travel between the lanterns that are placed in the game, and sometimes you will have quests connected to one of them, but sometimes you will understand that now I obtained this kind of ability and I'm open to open something or run through something.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, people here at Gamescom are queuing up to play Valor Mortis, but people at home are also going to be able to play it in a playtest soon. I think you have to sign up on your website, right?
That's correct. There is a website, so please sign up. The playtest is gonna start at the end of September, as far as I remember.
Okay. Yeah. What platforms will the playtest be available on?
So it will be PC Steam for now.
PC Steam for now?
The playtest.
Yes.
But the full game will be on PC, PS5 and Xbox.
Awesome. And can you give us a rough release date?
2026 is the release date.
2026. Okay, for all info about Valor Mortis, stay tuned to IGN.